All right. All right, everyone. Launch Day Mechanist and Texas Cajun here. Finally linked up with her again. All right. So, where we are now, we are actually in the work shed. This is where a lot of the rolling stock for the museum is actually stored. As you can see, there is a hand car that is currently out. We've got a steam locomotive currently sitting off the tracks. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff that needs some work on. Let me show y'all something right quick. Now then, I don't know if y'all can actually see me, but y'all remember when I was talking about the Clyde skidder earlier? Hey Colt. Oh, Clint. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you again. Doug Masters.
Yeah, Andrew, right?
Yeah, Andrew. That's my middle name, yeah.
Nice to see you filming.
Hey, yep, I'm doing it.
I could probably give you a tour.
All right, that'd be cool. Hang on. Remember when I was talking about the picture of the Clyde skidder that they showed in the commissary? Well, this right here is the genuine article. Take a look. I believe, Clint. Oops, hang on. Clint, didn't you tell me once that this is the only Clyde skidder still in existence?
It's the last one with two booms is what I
Oh, it's the last one with two booms. Okay. So basically, all right, excuse me. So basically the Clyde skidder, the way to get lumber out of the woods back then, you didn't have the interstate, you didn't have a lot of roads, you didn't have a lot of infrastructure. You darn sure didn't have any 18-wheelers. So, what did you do? You relied on rail. This sucker is the Clint skidder. This thing is basically a giant rail crane. What you do is you have an engine, like old number 400 here, push or pull this thing out to where you're cutting. You attach these steel cables or chains to the log, and then you have it skid the log to where it is, and then it was loaded up on a flatbed, which was then pulled by the engine back to the sawmill. Now, as you can see, these old engines, they need a lot of tender love and care. Here's an actual plaque on her, the Clyde. Let's see. As you can see, if I can get it down here, Clyde log skidder 1919, Clyde Iron Works from Duluth, Minnesota. Wood burning, steam powered, 4-line. Rehaul skidder operated on rails. Hauled on the piles near the tracks. This is the only double end skidder known to exist. There are others like it, but this is the only double ender, and she's here in Louisiana. Now, we've got another engine here from the Baldwin Locomotive Works. This is number 400. She is a 10-wheeler, 460 with a tender. Hopefully, I'm getting the right angle. I really can't see that well since we're outside in the sun and the glare, but here we are. Yep, there we go. Locomotive number 400, Baldwin 460, standard gauge steam locomotive. Last run was December 9, 1952. She's a 460, 10-wheeler, 4 wheels, 2 pair in the front, 6 driving wheels, no wheels under the cab. So basically, she has been sitting here since she was parked and since the lumber mill was abandoned and shut down. That's the sad part. A lot of these old steam locomotives and whatnot when the interstates were built and a lot of people stopped relying on rails. As a result, a lot of the rail supplied lumber mills and other industry kind of dried up, and because it cost money to have the locomotives, because they were all steam locomotives in an era of dieselization or electrification, a lot of people didn't exactly like the idea of steam locomotives, or they didn't want the idea of steam locomotives. There wasn't a lot of heritage work back then. So rather than try to get rid of the locomotives or have them towed away or sold for scrap, a lot of the companies just left them where they were to rust and rot away. But it's thanks to the efforts of museums and heritage sites like this one here at Longleaf that these locomotives that a lot of this old equipment is getting the TLC it needs. And in some cases, if it can't be restored, it can at least be made into an artifact or somewhat preserved the way it was for future generations to enjoy. Now then, I will probably be heading back over to the engineering shed here shortly, and we'll be looking at some of the other places in the museum and for the Fall Fest itself. Lansing Mechanist, signing off for the moment.